Hey guys, I'm Uncle Nacho Duh, and you're watching Disney Channel. Nah, just kidding. I wish I had that Disney Channel flow.
With the Disney Channel flow.
Last week, I went to magical Orlando, Florida, and of course, I went to Disney World. Am I gonna get a copyright strike from Disney for that? JK, it's actually 3 Jigglypuffs from above. Copyright strikes aside, Disney does have the happiest lines on earth.
Did somebody say Disney? Did somebody say Disney? I love Disney!
But I'm not talking about Disney today. Sure, I went to Orlando, Florida, so I visited, Disney World, I visited the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but I'm talking about the granddaddy of magical places to go if you go to Florida. NASA's Kennedy Space Center. The drive from Orlando to the Space Center is actually about an hour, but the thing is, I was down in Florida for a conference, and so that meant that the ride was going to be free, admission was going to be free, there was going to be free food, and we were going to get to meet a real live astronaut. I think his name was Buzz or something.
Buzz Lightyear, the world's greatest superhero!
So all in all, it was shaping up to be a pretty cool trip. However, before going to the Space Center, things hadn't really gone according to plan. First of all, my roommate at the hotel had flown in from India, and he hadn't adjusted to the jet lag yet. So he was waking up at like 4 in the morning and watching TV or doing whatever you do at 4 in the morning. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, he was a nice guy, and I'm sure that it was difficult for him, but it was also causing me to be really tired. And so this wasn't a good start already to this trip to the Space Center. Then I had a really good friend at the conference, and I was looking forward to going to the Space Center with him, but his back was hurting him so bad that he actually was bedridden during the day, and at night he wasn't able to go out and enjoy anything in Orlando. And none of these things are really deal breakers, but then things only got worse when I got on the bus. It was already supposed to be an hour bus ride, but then we hit traffic. And at first I thought, well, it's an hour bus ride, maybe they accounted for the traffic in that hour. No, fam, it took us 2 hours to get to the Space Center. It turned out that there was an accident further down the highway and no traffic was getting through at all, and that's why it took us so long. And we even our bus ended up pulling a U-turn on the highway and driving backwards on the highway so that we could take an alternate route to get to the Space Center. On the bright side of being caught in traffic, there was a crocodile on the side of the highway right next to where our bus was stopped. And it was a pretty big one, so everybody was pretty excited, taking pictures and things like that. But it took us about 10 minutes to realize that the crocodile was dead. Like, this trip was so bad, even the wildlife was dying in order to get out of it. By the time we finally got to the Kennedy Space Center, I was hungry and I was tired. And as any girlfriend's boyfriend can tell you, that combo does not make for a good night. All I want to do right now is find this one food stand that I was looking forward to trying, and I can't find it. And it's freezing outside. I packed for Florida weather, so I'm walking around in my shorts and in my light sweatshirt, but it's like 40 degrees. And when I finally do find the food stand that I was looking for, the food was terrible. So I've been at the Kennedy Center for like 20 minutes. I sat in a bus for 2 hours and I've given up. I'm ready to go home. So I just head over to the gift shop to buy something for my little brother.
Did somebody say gift shop?
And by the way, if you haven't bought any of the Uncle Nacho Duh merch, links are in the description down below. So after 30 minutes of standing in a line to buy something that I didn't want to pay that much money for, I was finally on my way back to the bus, headed back to the hotel. And on my way to the bus, I ran into a friend and stopped just for a second to say hi. And I asked him if he was having fun, fully expecting him to say no. But to my surprise, he looks at me and says, "Yes, so much fun." And I wasn't sure if he was kidding, so I said, "Really?" And he says, "Yes." And he holds up this little plushie and he says, "Look at this bear I got. It's signed by a spaceman." And he starts telling me about how he met the astronaut and he asked him all these questions and took a picture with him. And he was so excited and so giddy. And that was when I remembered that we were going to have the opportunity to meet an astronaut, and I had completely missed it. Not because my bus got there late, but because I was in the souvenir line during the presentation with the astronaut. Then my friend asked me if I had fun, and I had to meekly tell him, well, no, not really. And he says, "What? You didn't have any fun?" And somebody that overheard our conversation then looks at me and goes, "How could you not have fun?"
You sad, strange little man.
That's when I realized that under the exact same circumstances, I chose to have a terrible time, while my friend took advantage of the moment and made an absolute memory out of it. It didn't matter what happened that night. I was the one that chose to have an attitude of, I'm not going to have a good time. And it's like, well, not with that attitude, you're not. It's like I had a bad attitude, then I had a bad time, and I was somehow surprised that that's what happened. The worst part about this is that I thought I was the one that was having the bad night, when I could have been halfway across the world from my home unable to sleep like my roommate, or I could have had excruciating pain that made me unable to work during the day and then also enjoy Orlando during the night like my friend. I could have been in a serious car accident like the one that caused the traffic that I was stuck in before getting to the Space Center. Or worse, I could be a dead crocodile. When I put it into perspective, I realized I'm not a victim. I'm a cretin.
Okay, first of all, it's cretin.
So the following days when I went to Disney World and Harry Potter World, I didn't let any inconveniences get me down, and I had an absolute blast. I'm glad that my friend had such a positive attitude at NASA, and that I recognized how much of a cretin I was actually being. In the future, I hope that I appreciate what I have and I don't miss out on the moment. I also want to surround myself with people who have positive attitudes and who take advantage of opportunities to make memories. And I just want to make the best out of bad situations. Finally, I'll leave you with these words from the sage Ariana Grande for making the best of every situation, even when things don't work out as we planned. Thought I'd end up with Sean, but he wasn't a match. Wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh. Even almost got married, and for Pete I'm so thankful. Wish I could say thank you to Malcolm, cause he was an angel. One taught me love, one taught me patience, one taught me pain. Now I'm so amazing. I've loved and I've lost, but that's not what I see. So look what I got, look what you taught me, and for that I say thank you, next, thank you, next, thank you, next. I'm so grateful for my ex. Thank you, next, thank you, next, thank you, next. I'm so grateful for my ex. Thank you, next.